Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing good. Well, today I have changed the topic or the subject or even the module because many first year students or freshmen have messaged me and told me to explain a little bit of linguistics. Well, I have agreed, but I need to tell you this. I have never tried to explain linguistics before. So bear me. I'm going to try to give exact information, right? Um, and if I'm mistaken, please correct me in the comments. If I forget something, please add it, and we shall help each other and see what we can do. Without any further ado, I will start explaining. Now, when we say linguistics, right? This linguistics. The definition, it is a scientific study of language, right? This is a definition that we all know, taken from a book which is called Cours de linguistique générale by Ferdinand de Saussure. It is a very important person that you should know about. He is the father or the founder of linguistics as we know it today. Because guys, linguistics before it was not scientific, and the term linguistics did not exist before. We had traditional grammar, comparative grammar, philology, what else? Yeah, then with linguistics. So when you study the history of linguistics, there are some interesting things that you are going to learn. Well, now, we all know the definition, as I said, but do we understand it? In order to do so, you have to ask two important questions. We have scientific and the word language. I'm going to start by language. What is language? Language is a system of communication. And we have two kinds of systems. We have natural system and artificial system. When I say natural, it means words or gestures. When I say artificial, it means mathematics or informatics. Now, for example, this number here, it is a symbol of some meaning. So it is a system of communication classed in the artificial system. This is what I wanted you to understand about language. Now I move to the word scientific. Why linguistics or linguistics is considered to be a scientific discipline? Well, because it is based on the scientific method. You may ask, what is a scientific method? Well, a scientific it is, or it can be explained in four steps, which are observation, hypothesis, experiment, and result or conclusion. When you say observation, to observe something, it is to see something. But in terms of linguistics, as you can see here, we say to observe a phenomenon. Right? The adjective is phenomenal. But we need the noun, we observe something, such as a linguistic phenomenon. Then after that, we are going to hypothesize. The verb of hypothesis. Hypothesize is to give a kind of explanation, but without any kind of proofs. Therefore, you need to experiment your hypothesis. When you say experiment, it means to put it in test, to see whether you were right or not. After the experiment, after the test, you will get a result or the conclusion. In this result, you will give a theory, of course, concise theory and proofs, etc. This is what we are dealing with in linguistics in general. After this, I'm going to speak about the origins of language. I may give three origins, right? Well-known origins, especially for first-year students. They are easy to understand. You just need to follow. The first one, it is called the divine source. When you say the divine source, the word divine, it means God. That language came from God. For example, you take the Bible, the Quran, or the Babylonian myth. These three agree that language came from God. In our holy book, it is obvious. The Bible, I do not read much Bible, but the Babylonian myth, I have read something about that, and it says that the Babylonians, the people who were Babylonian, they are called Babylonians. They built huge towers. The purpose was to reach the highest point in the sky in order to see God. Well, God, he was angry. Then he destroyed those towers, and the people who lived there, they were scattered into tribes. They were separated into tribes, and God, for each tribe, he has given a specific language. Therefore, they wouldn't be able to communicate between them and try to build those towers again. Sorry. Then, yeah, that's about it for the Babylonian myth. So you have an idea about the fact that language came from God. The second point, or the second source that I know, it is called the imitation of natural sounds. It means some words are written from the imitation of sounds which exist in nature. I know three hypotheses about this. We have the ding dong hypothesis, the poo poo hypothesis, and the, how is it called, the last one? The bow wow hypothesis. For the ding dong hypothesis, we have what we call onomatopoeic word or onomatopoeia. The onomatopoeia or onomatopoeic words, it means that some words, when they are pronounced or written, they are pronounced in the same way that um, like the action they describe or the sound they describe. I'm going to give a brief example. For example, you talk about, sorry, my pen. All right, so the word knock. Right? No, sorry, this is a K. Knock. The word to knock. This sound. When you say knock, knock, the word knock sounds similar like the action it describes. This is what we call onomatopoeic word. For the poo-poo theory and the ding-dong theory, I do not remember very well, but one of them, it is the imitation of nature, and the other, it is the imitation of animal sounds. For example, poo-poo, I think it is for nature, and the bow wow, it is for animals. But you need to check it, guys, because I do not remember it very well. For when you say imitation of animals sounds, when you say bark, a dog barks, it is the same sound of barking, right? Be careful, guys. Bark, it is written like this and not like this. This is wrong. And for nature imitation, you will find some words which describe nature sounds, and they sound similar. And the last source, it is the natural evolution of organs of speech. It is what we call, or what you guys know about Darwin. Well, Darwin said the man before was an ape, right? He has evolved, right? And his body evolved, and he became what we call today human. So this source says that when a human being evolves, even his organs evolves with him. So the organs of speech evolved, and human beings can produce sound, which eventually will lead to language. This hypothesis is very criticized by scientists, linguists, etc. But I am in no place to criticize such a hypothesis. Now we have talked about the linguistics. I have explained some important points such as scientific language. I have given some examples, and I have spoken about um, the origin of language. If this has helped you guys, please tell me in the comments below, and I may continue with the series of linguistics. And for the next lesson, I will talk about the difference between human language and animal language. I'm going to talk about the characteristics and explain them because there are some hard words, and I'll try to do my best anyways. Then I think that's about it, and I hope that you will enjoy this video, and see you in another one. Take care.